This crop would never have been grown if these two men hadn't met. Christian Hiss heads an unusual company called Regionalwert. It invests in young farmers who would otherwise have no chance. Joel Siegel received a 20,000 euro loan from the company for his fruit farm.
Regionalwert secured my livelihood because I wouldn't have gotten a loan from a bank. This is because I'm new to the business and because my own capital was exhausted in the middle of last year.
In exchange, Regionalwert expects its farmers to switch to green farming practices, for example, using insect traps instead of insecticides. The CEO of Regionalwert also expects his business partners to provide their workers with long-term contracts and welfare benefits. Their wage is €6 per hour net. That's above the norm for the agricultural sector. But it's a potential burden for the farmers in question because of rivals that pay workers less.
The point is to get a positive development going, because the general trend has been towards poorer conditions and even lower wages. We want to try to turn that around. It's a rocky path, but we have to begin somewhere.
Christian Hiss has invested a total of 1.7 million euros of his company's money in 9 ecological farms. He believes farming in harmony with nature is the only way the farmers can operate sustainably in the region. Hiss's struggle is a lonely one. Regionalwert cannot afford to hire staff, but he's successfully continuing to raise investment funds. And every day he receives queries from potential shareholders.
I think that in the medium term we will have to raise 5 to 10 million euros to ensure the company has enough substance.
Regionalwert holds a stockholders meeting once a year.
At about 2:30 we'll begin registration for the actual meeting.
The company has about 500 stockholders who have bought an average of 1,000 euros in stock. They all know that Regionalwert could go broke. And few of them expect to make a profit anyway.
Yes, we regard it as a kind of gift. That's always the question, what you do with your money, how do you spend it? Sure, I could have bought each of my grandchildren a car, and they would have accepted it. But there's no need for that. In fact, we want to set an example for our grandchildren. We want them to see that you have to set priorities.
We aren't interested in just putting our money somewhere where it earns high interest. We're more interested in putting our money where it makes sense in a broader context.
What really convinces me about this approach is that here we are investing in ecological agriculture, and regionally. We live in Freiburg, and we always pay attention to what we buy and where it comes from.
Kaufen schon seit langer Zeit eigentlich oder achten auf das, was wir kaufen und woher es kommt.
The shareholders aren't pressuring the young farmers to squeeze as much profit as possible from their land. They want the farms to be environmentally sound and socially responsible and preserve the landscape's diversity.
Running that kind of operation and with these ideas requires a certain idealism. There are many things you do every day that won't earn you any money, but where it's just better to do them differently.
Farmer Joel Siegel currently lives from his girlfriend's income, and he'll probably have to do so next year as well, until his little fruit farm starts turning a profit.